It's Angie from Canterbury Trails Farm. Today I'm going to show you how to loom knit a pumpkin. These are really cute for Halloween decorations or just fall decorations. I didn't do a jack-o'-lantern. You can do a jack-o'-lantern. You would have to embroidery in the eyes and the nose and the mouth. If you have your standard loom set, you know that it comes with the big yellow one, and then there's usually the hat one for the adult hats. I think it's green. And then there's this smaller one that's like a infant size hat, and then there's this little tiny one. This will make a very small pumpkin. Using this next to the smallest one, the maroon one, or red, brick red I guess, is what I use to make this pumpkin. And it fits in my palm of my hand. It's a pretty good size. It's not super tiny, but I mean, a lot of different sizes of these would be real cute in a display. I'm using a lighter orange. It has little colors in it because I thought that would look cuter in my kitchen, because my kitchen is all pink, so these all have little pastels. And we're going to go get started, and we're going to do it just like we're making a hat, and but we're not going to make a cuff. We're just going to start it like a hat, and we're going to go, I think this one was a little bit, I did it a little bit longer than my hand, and then I'll show you how to close both the ends. You will need some stuffing, cotton stuffing, polyfill, or some kind of cotton batting to stuff your pumpkin with. You'll need some sort of ribbon or rickrack. Rickrack's real cute. It sort of simulates the little twisty stems on a pumpkin, or just some yarn, green yarn. Also, cute to have little, these are ones that have little metal stems, little metal like inside of them. They're just felt, little different color leaves. Or I have these little applique ones. I had some real cool crochet ones that I can't seem to find. So look around and see what you've got to finish. Those will be to finish it off with. But right now we're just going to get started on making the pumpkin itself. Okay, I'm going to use two skeins together. If you're using a chunky fat yarn, you won't need to do this. But this is more of a finer yarn. Actually, it's a baby yarn. It was called Dippin' Dots or something like that. I'm going to tie tie it around my little knob at the end. I tried to put a blanket down here so it would be clearer to see and non-distracting. So to start with, you're going to be doing it just like you would a hat, and you're going to go around your loom twice. So you want to do just standard loom knitting. I'm assuming that people know how to loom knit if they're watching project loom knitting videos. If you don't know how to loom knit, I have videos on intro, and the hat knitting one would be very helpful. So just go around. You're going to pull your stitches all over your peg, and you're going to do this. And remember, you're not making a cuff. It's like a hat, but you're not making any kind of cuff. You're just making a sort of a bag right now. And you're just going to go around and around. I would knit until I had about 7 or 8 inches worth of knitted length there is what I would do. And then what we're going to be doing is gathering both ends and drawing them in like a drawstring. It will be possible if you do too long, it will be possible to fold in the top and adjust it to the dimensions that you want. So if you're going to err on the side of doing too much versus not enough, And I'm going to show you how to stuff the pumpkin to get the volume and the shape that you want. That will all be determined by the way you stuff the pumpkin. So I'm going to knit a little bit so you can just watch. I'll speed it up probably, and I'll come back at the next stage. Okay, I have finished my approximately 8 inches. Yep, looks like it's about 8 inches length of knitting. And if you notice, I did not do a cuff. It just came right out of the loom that way. And we are going to take it off of the loom. So leave about 12 inches of yarn. And you need a big-eyed needle, just in case you haven't done this before. And for those people that are interested, this was the yarn I used. It was Bernat, or Bernay, however you say that, Dippity Dots. And this was the Peach variation, 2.8 ounces. It was the medium 4 thickness of yarn, or weight of yarn. Okay, I'm going to take off the now, just like you would a hat, we are going to draw up this end. This yarn likes to be a little difficult because of those little bits in it, so when you get it drawn up, then make a few stitches. Poke it inside. Thread. Now you have essentially a hat. Now what we want to do is we're going to stuff it with the fiber fill. And this is where you can determine what shape your pumpkin is going to be and how full you want it. Want to aim for keeping that gathering at the bottom in the center. Remember, I told you that the top you'll be able to adjust and just keep looking at it. If it looks like you need a little bit more fullness on one side, just add some fiber fill on that side. Okay, pretty happy with that. So what I'm going to do, so I'm just going to sort of turn my edges under, and then I'm going to go through, I'm just going to the end and just tie a knot to hold my thread in place. I'm going to tuck this inside here. Alright, and then I'm just going to go around just like a drawstring. Just going to feed it in and out all the way around here. The yarn will be pretty forgiving, so this is the chunkier, bigger yarns. So it's sort of like the old drawstring purses that people used to make. Okay, now got it all the way around, so make sure my edge, I'm going to tuck them in as I pull. Okay. That way, see, I have no raw edges poking out. They're all folded under nicely. Alright, once I get it to that point where I'm done gathering, I'm just going to do a few stitches to secure it. Now, don't cut your yarn. Leave that hook there. Now go to the bottom. Pull it tight, because this is going to make our separations. Put your needle in there. Line it up straight. And just pull. Pull till you see it, you want it to indent it. So now do a stitch to secure it. Okay. So you should have sort of like an indentation. Now go do that for the other side. Hopefully I left myself enough yarn here. Okay. No, I did not leave enough yarn to do all four, so. Alright, so cut that off. Now I need another length of yarn. Thing for the other side. Do so this way it's indenting your pumpkin into like 4 sections. If you did a big pumpkin, like maybe you used a bigger loom, you might want to do more than 4 indentions. But on this small size like I'm doing, 4 is fine. Do a few stitches again. Okay. Now you got your pumpkin. Move that over a little bit. And now you just want to sort of work with it. There we go. Okay, for the stem, I'm going to be using the same thing I used on the other one. I'm going to use like some little applique leaves. I got these off eBay years ago when I was making those pumpkin hats that I showed in one of my project videos. Now, to do the stem, I'm using I think this is an inch wide length, of grosgrain ribbon. You can do it as long as you want. To make the stem, you're just going to, like, in the middle, fold it, and you're just going to make a few stitches here. Oh, I'm going to just sort of tie it around here. Poke it back in the middle. There we go. Almost like sort of like a fancier bow or something. And then you're just going to put it on the top of your pumpkin. Just make a few stitches. Now I have my little stem and the little things. And I'm just going to, this would be if you wanted to add a little piece of rickrack, you could do that. You can trim it later. And then tuck your applique underneath the ribbon, just so it just hides your stitching here, or your leaf, whatever you're using for your leaf. I would use these neat green ones, but this light green. Because these would allow me to shape the leaf however I wanted to, since it has the metal in it. But these light green ones just match prettier. So. You could even put a little bit of stuffing in the stem if you wanted. Here we have 2 pumpkins. So that's a real quick little craft. It took me probably about an hour and a half from start to finish. Of course, I stopped to do things for the video and stuff too. So, and like I said, you can work with your stuffing to see how you want it to look, and you could make it fatter and rounder. Or if you wanted a taller pumpkin, you could just keep knitting until you had more. Do 10 or 12 inch, and you're gonna lose about an inch or 2 on each top and bottom when you're drawing it up. Well, I hope this has been a fun tutorial. Just remember, you're just sort of making a hat, but you're turning it into a pumpkin. Just a hat with no cuff. And if you don't know how to make a hat, check out my how to make a hat video, and that'll help you loom knit. I really get into how you're loom knitting and everything on there. Also, I have an intro to loom knitting where I talk about all the different looms, and it's also in combination with a sock with a heel video that I wish I would have split into 2 different videos, but I didn't. So the first part of that is just an intro to loom knitting. So check out that hat video if you have never loom knitted before, and then come back and we can work on our pumpkin together. So happy fall, and thank you for joining me today at Canterbury Trails Farm. Bye.